where I'm at. Hi, Pamela. Nice to see you. This is for your daughter. And so we're going to talk to Neil today. And as he steps forward, he's coming through with his head kind of hanging down. And I feel a great kind of sadness over him because he's so sad about the way he left. He's so sad about the trouble that he caused everybody. He's so sad about, he's sorry about the pain that everybody had to go through. He hated being a burden. He was he was ready to go, not because he was ready to go before, but he was ready to go because he absolutely did not enjoy what he was putting everybody else through. That that he's jabbering, but I can't quite understand him. He's getting a little animated. He's got to slow down. He's He hated not having any control over what was going on with him and around him. He hated the tears and pain in everybody else's eyes. He says, even at the very end, when you didn't think he heard you, he heard everybody. He heard what was going on. He knew everything that was happening. He could hear the nurses. He could hear the family whispering. He could hear the arrangements being made. He said his mind was awake even though medicine numbed him. Excuse me. He did not want to put his family through anymore. And whoever wasn't there at the time that he passed, he says sometimes this happens because they kind of plan it that way. If that makes sense. There's a lot of times people will pass and somebody will sit there and hold their hand for hours and hours, and then they get up and go to the bathroom or go get a cup of coffee, and that's when the person leaves because that's the way they want it. That's how they want it. He says no more pain. Now he's got on a flowered, like what I would call kind of like my shirt, but it's like a Hawaiian type shirt. He's got a straw kind of beat up, ruffled up hat on, and he's got what looks like a long piece of straw. He looks like a cowboy. Nah, cowboy wouldn't be the right word. He got like a long piece of straw sticking in his mouth that he's chewing on. Comfy, relaxed. He says, remember that beach we talked about going to, that vacation? He's showing me a beach. He's got his shorts and his loud shirt on. There's two lawn chairs, a little table between them, two foo-foo drinks with umbrellas in them. He's sitting there with his feet kicked up. And he says, He says he's going to be there when you get there. He'll be waiting for you. The other chair is empty for you. He'll be waiting for you. I see way out in the distance, it looks like an ocean liner, just barely coming around the corner. I hear Tahiti, but it doesn't mean he's in Tahiti. It might just remind me of some picture or something. He says, I have all the time in the world. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going with anybody. I'm going to be right here, relaxing. He says it's like retirement. He looks healthy. Oh, so now he jumped up and he's jumping around like, look at me, look at me. He's I'm asking him something. Can't quite see. Give me a second. Gonna make it closer, clear or something. He was showing me who was there when he passed. He's showing me himself laying in a hospital type bed. And I'm not talking about who was there from here. I'm talking about who was there waiting for him to cross to help him. I can clearly see a lady, and I feel like it's a guy leaning over him. But for some reason, I can't quite see him. The lady, older. It's hard to describe them because it seems like all the older ladies, they all have the white curly permed hair, and of course they have glasses. When we get older, we all have glasses pretty much. She's not real skinny, but she's not plump. She seems like a little more well dressed. She feels like a grandma figure to him, and grandmas don't, these, when they feel like a grandma, they don't have to be blood related. But I feel like this one probably is. And the man, I feel, is somehow associated with her, but he's still bending over, I'm sorry, Neil, bending over Neil, and he was whispering things in his ear. So at times you probably saw Neil kind of look up, or maybe even cock his head a little bit like he was listening while he was laying there, because he was listening and he could see them. He knew they were there. And he was looking up and watching them, except they're showing me they were kind of behind him. She's a little bit over to the side, the left side of his head. But she's kind of standing back. The man is the one that's whispering. The only other time I've ever seen, unless he's going to stand up and show himself better, he either doesn't want me to see who he is or it's not important. I still feel like he's associated with this woman. That's why they came through together. Or it's possibly somebody that is still here, but who is in between. Like sometimes an Alzheimer patient will be here physically, but when they're on the end stage of Alzheimer's, they're actually kind of got a leg on the other side. They're kind of in both realms. I don't know how to explain it. Their spirit is not gone from their body, but they can go back and forth. And that's the only other time I've seen a figure be kind of transparent like this is somebody that's still here, but that was still talking to him. Somebody that would be a mentor or somebody he looked up to. There's also a cat. It's white. Maybe got a little black on its ears or head or something up in there. Can't tell if this cat is with him or the cat was here when he left. See if anybody else is going to pop in there. And even if they don't show it, there will be a whole herd of loved ones standing in the background waiting. There's usually just like 2 or 3 come forward, and I see an angel. There's always at least one angel. Like, okay, they're kind of showing me the same thing. Like, I watched my friend. I wasn't there the actual moment that he passed, but I watched what the angels were doing, and they were preparing his body for the transformation, and they were preparing the energy for the transformation. And I can feel the energy in my hand. So, showing me that he would kind of move his legs and maybe kind of groan or make a noise. And what they're showing me is it was the angels kind of preparing his energy, kind of doing a cleansing type thing, I think is what they do. They've never told me exactly what it is they do. Like I said, I watched them do it with my friend. And it feels strange because their energy is so not powerful, but it's something that you never feel, that you don't feel here. So it's different. So he might have tried to move his legs a little bit, like what is that feeling? So know that he had all of these plus others. Nobody else is stepping forward right now. And a very, very bright light at the end of the path. I've never seen a tunnel, but that doesn't mean there's not one. That's just my experience. So he had no problem getting where he needed to go. He's trying to call you a nickname that starts with a B. It almost sounds like bath time, but can't. Bath time? He says, I loved bath time. I thought he's calling you nickname, sorry. He says there is a nickname, I'm just not getting it yet. I really, really stink at names. I stink at names, I stink at nicknames. That's close enough to a name. So I get close. Used to do them exact. Don't anymore. Don't know why we're not getting that. Anyway. He feels very, very light, very bright, very peaceful, very loving. He says you're hanging on to some of his stuff that you need to let go of. He says you don't need to let go of every single thing, but he says there's a lot of stuff you still need to let go of, physical belongings. He even suggests just suggesting maybe you might consider moving to something. Maybe you're not ready, but it would be a good thing to move and get away from the bad memories that are left there. He says he's going to go with you no matter where you go. Okay, he's showing me it's in your house, I'm pretty sure. And he's showing me a light bulb with a string on it, and he's pulling on it. Sometimes they'll show me the exact room and the exact light, but it's just a light bulb. He's not showing me any, I feel like I'm in the living room, but even if you don't have any lights with a string on it, what he's showing me is that he's going to try to play with the lights. He's going to make the lights flicker or turn off and on. And sometimes it takes them a little bit to figure out how to do that, how to use their energy to make that happen. Once they figure it out, look out. It can get wild. I don't get any of the fun stuff here. Of course, I tell them all not to come in unless they let me know who they are and why they're here. They don't get to play with my stuff. He sees you sitting on the couch, you're going through photo albums, and you're crying. He's kneeling to your left side. My left. He's kneeling on one knee to the left side, and he's looking with you and remembering the memories. He's trying to touch your left arm. So it will not feel like me touching skin touching skin. It will feel like a little change in pressure. It may feel like something's tickling you, like a hair or a feather's tickling you, but there's nothing there. Sometimes their energy feels like when you get the chills or goosebumps. And he tries to whisper in your left ear, so you will get some of that same feeling, the goosebumps or the tingling. In my ears, a lot of times I'll get a high-pitched screech, but it'll only be in one ear because I have tinnitus, so my ears have a low ringing all the time. Get a really high-pitched shriek, or that ear gets really hot. They're close. They're really. My Bob does that. The top of my ear here gets so bright red and hot, I almost can't stand it because his energy is so strong and close, and that's how he gets my attention. He says, no, I haven't moved on. I'm where I need to be. They're bringing me Mai Tais. And I'm just chilling. He's acknowledging a female with a name that starts with V, like Valerie. Now he's going to the silverware drawer in the kitchen, and he's rattling silverware. So even if your silverware doesn't actually move and rattle, you're going to hear a sound like silverware rattling coming from the kitchen, and more than likely it won't be very loud. I don't know where he went. Okay, he's back behind me. He's got both his elbows resting on my shoulder like this. He kind of got his head right above mine. Head right above mine, and he's just staring at you, looking at how beautiful you are. That you're going to feel him in your bed. You're going to feel like the bed go down a little bit, or something that feels like there's somebody there besides you. So don't get scared. Don't get scared. He's trying to comfort you. He's trying to help you. Now he's bringing this elderly lady that we just talked about. He's going like this to her, and he's going, come on. So she's there to help you too. So whoever this grandmotherly figure is, talk to them. They can hear you. I promise they can hear you. And somehow she's going to help to them. They're sending you lots and lots of love. There's something that you're supposed to do to help others that comes from the way that he passed. The, the things that happened when he passed, there's something you're supposed to do to help others going through that. To help others in that situation. They're not telling me exactly. Evidently they want you to figure it out. Or they're going to put something in front of you. Something in front of you, kind of in honor and in memory of him, to help others that have gone through that horrible situation. He said it's going to be there to open your heart and heal your heart. He says, do this in memory of me. Okay, now he's got me watching you drive down the road. And we're looking at a billboard. So I feel like this is probably a common road for you to drive down sometimes. There's a big billboard, and there's something on this billboard that will remind you of him. I don't know if it'll say the name Neil, Or, okay, they reminded me. So I was on a bike trip with my husband, and I was getting all kinds of relatives and everybody popping in. I mean, it was a really super awesome experience for me. And I said, I don't believe this is my stepdad. Show me a sign. And I will swear on my life, a couple miles down the road, there was the biggest billboard, and on it, in huge letters, said Moore, Moore. That was his last name. So there's going to be something about this sign, something like that. It's going to remind you of him. And when you'll probably you'll feel your head kind of pulled over to the side, like, okay, why do I feel like I need to look that way while I'm driving down the road? And you'll see it. And when you see the sign, listen to what's playing on the radio at that exact moment. That's the way my Bob always does. Shoes, something about shoes. Something about shoes you need to get rid of. Shoes no longer needed. I'm not sure where he's going with that. Now he's spitting, spitting and licking on his hand, and he's pushing his hair back. Like, look at me now. I'm all pretty again. Look at my hair. Look, I can slick it back over here. He's primping. He's showing off. Oh, he says he's styling for you. Styling for you, my darling. Then he puts his straw hat back on. He goes, I really don't give a shit what my hair looks like. I want you to know that I'm there. I want you to know I can hear you. He's like he's showing me the picture again of you sitting on the couch with the pictures, and he's kneeling by you, and it's like he wants, I'm right here. I'm right here. Why can't you tell that I'm right here? And I don't know how long ago it was when he passed, but when we're still in that deep grief, it's hard for us to see or hear or feel the signs or sense that they're there, because the grief is so, it's like a wall, it blocks everything until that lightens up a little bit, and then you'll start seeing and feeling stuff. And if you see something move out of the corner of your eye in your peripheral vision, do not turn your head. And I still haven't mastered that, because as soon as I see something, I turn my head to look to see what it is, and you don't see it. You won't see it straight on. I don't know why, I don't know how it works, but in your peripheral vision, you will see him walk past you somewhere in the house. So don't think your house is haunted. You don't have ghosts. It's just your loved ones coming in to check on you. When I go to do house cleansing, they go, oh, I'm haunted. And I go, we'll see. It's usually grandma coming in to say hi, and we leave them there. We don't remove. I don't, unless somebody tells me Uncle Joe is a real asshole. Get him out of here. I've had to remove one like that from my house. So don't let it freak you out. He says none of this was your fault. Nothing that happened was your fault. You have a great support system around you. And he's talking about your family here. He says you also have a great support system up there. And people are just now finding out about the support system that we all have up there. He's very soft and gentle. He says to tell you he loves you to the moon and back. And he heard you. He heard you right at the end. He heard you. And he heard you after too. Okay, there's going to be something happen while you're in the bathtub. Something's going to fall down and splash the water really big or something. While you're laying there relaxing. Well, I'm jealous if you've got time to relax in the bathtub. I don't. He showed me something falling down and making a big splash. Know that that's going to be him. And he's laughing. He said, you can't possibly think that I would actually run off and leave you. Desert you. Oh, he says, I heard you when you screamed at the sky. How dare you? How dare you leave me? He said he even had to go like this because it hurt his ears. He doesn't have ears. Not physical ears like we do. But I totally understand because I've been there, done that. It will all be okay again. It's our path. It's something we chose. Now there's some lessons you need to learn until we meet again. It's not your turn. And again, he shows me the beach, the two chairs, the ocean liner way out in the distance. Still got a straw hat on. He says he's not going to sit in the sun too much. He doesn't want to mess up his pretty skin. With too much sun. He says, then it'll just be you and me, baby. Okay, so this is my right ear. Some of these look backwards. And clear down inside here, it's itching like crazy. And it feels like he stuck his finger in my ear. So the energy makes me itching like crazy. I think I ever had one stick their finger in my ear. You never know what they're going to do. So you will probably feel that too. He says, no, I'm not stuck here. You're not holding me. You're not holding me here like some people think. He can pop in and out whenever he wants to. It's not like you tie a rope on him and keep him here. And some people think if you talk to them too much that they can't go where they need to go. Yes, they can. They can do anything they want. He's also popping in on somebody named Sam, and I'm almost sure that's the right name. If it's not, it's an SA name, and I think feels like a guy. He's popping in on Sam. There's one of his friends. I don't feel a family relationship, so I believe it's a friend that's having a tough time with him leaving. And that person is going to feel him slap him on the back. Like, hey, old buddy, old pal, how you doing? Okay, I think he's going to go. I don't know if you have long hair or not, but he's showing how he's taking your hair and pulling it behind your ears, kind of out of your face. And trying to look right in your face and tell you how much he loves you. You're just not sensing him yet. You will. With that, he's getting ready to walk away. I'm hearing music, but I can't hear. It's too soft. I can't hear what it is. If it's a song for you, it sounds like beautiful music. It's nothing I recognize. And it's really soft and far away. So it must be the angels' music. I've only very few times gotten a glimpse of their music, and you can't describe it. So he's walking towards his music. He's blowing you kisses. He says, I haven't left. I'm still there with you. Let me help. Talk to me. And he's taking the elderly lady with him. Okay, he's leaving. I hope you enjoy. I hope there's something in there that gave you some kind of validation so you know for sure that I have your loved one. I hope it helps because my whole goal is to help people heal because that's what somebody did for me. And that's my purpose in life is to help others heal from their loss. So much love to you, all of you. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, and oracle card advisor. Let me know. See you later.